Hello wonderful followers, you're welcome once again to my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be taking you on a journey of how to properly cover your cake with butter icing. Okay, whichever of the butter you have in your area is fine. You can either use Simas, you can use Jubi, Napa, any margarine that is in your area, and if you are using butter as well. Okay, so these are some of the items I will be needing. Okay, the colors are there, the colors, then the tools also. I have my straight spatula, I have the offsets, then I have the cake comb, we have the acrylic one, then we also have the stainless one. Okay, you need a piping bag as well, and a nozzle, a sieve, then a wooden spatula. Okay, can use a wooden spatula. If you're using a mixer, okay, you make sure you just mix your butter very well before you add in your icing sugar. Okay, so this is the industrial flavor. The industrial flavor is so nice, it's so nice. Just make sure you mix your butter very well before you add in the icing sugar. And don't forget, please, your icing sugar, you have to sieve it. While you are sieving it is for it to make your butter icing very smooth and free from lumps. Okay, and again also, when you are using your mixer, you can mix the butter very well, whether you're using butter or you're using margarine. Okay, just make sure you mix it very well. Then if you now wish you want to use that same mixer for your icing sugar, please just make sure you low the speed. That means use on low speed, but I prefer using my bare hands to mix in the icing. Okay, it makes it free from lumps and smooth. And for my butter icing recipe is 350 to 400 gram of butter to 1 kg of icing sugar, but here in this video I use 350. I use 50, then I just dip my hand into water to mix it well again, because I noticed there are some margarine in the market. After covering your cake with butter icing, it begins to sweat. The sweating I'm talking about is when the vegetable oil, you start seeing it coming out of the icing. So most times I always like it to be thick. I always like it to be thick, except if I come across a margarine that is very stable. That's when I do a softer one. But for me, I prefer this consistency. It dries faster, and there are some brands of margarine too, they don't sweat at all. Even if it's softer than this consistency, it doesn't. For my board, I use buttercream there, which is the normal butter icing that we know. Then while I show you that chocolate, you can also melt that chocolate on a double boiler and use it and spread it on the board before you place your cake. Now the cake I'm using here is 2 layers 9 inches pan. 2 layers 9 inches pan. So according to my calculation here, my icing sugar is 1 kg, my margarine is 350 gram. Okay, so now here is me trying to sandwich the cake, which is the middle. You can also decide to use a palette knife. Okay, you can use a palette knife, whichever works for you. So now this method works perfectly for me. So before you now place the second one on it, then this is me here trying to trim the top of the cake, that's to level it. Then the knife I'm using here, you can call it bread knife, carving knife, trimming knife, serrated knife. So I use it to just level both layers so that they will be equal. Okay, after that I'm doing my cleaning. Please always make sure you clean your working surface, don't just abandon everything there. Okay, so, and again I'm using the butter icing too to seal in that middle part of it, so everything will just bend together, it will be on the same level. Here I'm using piping bag to coat my cake. I just coat it once. I'm not doing light crumb coating here with then the final coating. Okay, here I'm just using one coating straight up. You can do it whichever way you prefer, but this works for me. Okay, it makes my work faster as well. Now, one thing I want to say is, in this butter icing that I did, I mean, why coating the cake, instead of me to like smoothie the top first, I did the body. So then I just show you how you can correct it. To just leave the top for some minutes, then you just come back and remove the blue, the color icing, whichever color. Here is me adding the color to the butter icing. So any color you want to add. Yeah, I added sky blue and royal blue, and it gave me that royal blue color that I want. Okay, my piping bag too is there. So you cut it to how big you want the coating to be. So here is me coating it. You start from the down part to the top. Here we are using two colors, just cream color and royal blue color. When you are working with this color, most times it's always difficult when it's time for you to comb. But if you start from the top, if you start from your scraping from the top before you even put the royal blue icing on the body, is going to make it faster. So for some reasons I did the body before the top, but later on I corrected the mistake as well, because the blue color later entered the cream color, and I corrected that one as well. So here is me using acrylic scraper. This is acrylic scraper. You can also use the stainless one. Just make sure you hold it tight and you run it through 360. You run it. Make sure when you are running it, you are not going to push off the cake from the board. Just make sure you hold it firm, and you scrape it like that until you achieve that smooth. So until you achieve that smooth texture. Okay, just continue to run through. Now this acrylic scraper, you don't need to dip it inside hot water. It works perfectly like that. It works perfectly. All you just need to do, each time you want to run it through the body of the cake, you just make sure you clean it. Whether you are using the smooth side or you are using the side that has design, you don't need to dip it inside hot water. If you dip inside hot water, it's going to spoil the acrylic comb. Now here is me. Now you are using hot water, not hot boiling water, because by the time you put that hot palette knife or scraper on your icing, some butter, they will start bringing out oil. So just make sure the water is hot, but not hot boiling water. Here is me comb it. You run it through also 360. You run it through. You just make sure you run it through and you hold it well. This side, it's not that you will just put all the body of the comb on the body. You just do it slightly and just run it 360 and it will come. So the mistake I was trying to correct here, after the top has dried off, I just scrape off the blue icing, then I replace it back with the cream, then I now smooth it again. So that was what I did. So in case you make that mistake while you are decorating your cake in such a design like this, then after this you are still going to see another video of me doing the top. Okay, doing the top first before the body. So just make sure your icing sugar is sift. Very, very important. So here is me bringing the edge inside, out to inside, out to inside, out to inside, out to inside. Okay, until you achieve that smooth texture that you want. And again, Earlier on I showed you two type of icing, so it depends on the icing sugar that you have in your location. Just use it, but one thing I would tell you, just make sure, please make sure you sieve your icing sugar. And here I was using a 2C nozzle. I didn't use coupler here. I just throw it directly into the piping bag, then I cut the mouth open. When you cut the mouth open, just make sure you don't cut it too much so that while piping, your nozzle will not jump out. I use a 2C nozzle. So here is me piping through the edge. So, and again, I did not use a writing tip. Now, if you are a beginner, I will advise you use a writing tip, but if you can do it this way, why not? Okay, I'm not using a piping bag here. I just cut it to the size that I want. It should not be too thin, it should not be too big while I write on the cake. So after writing on the cake, there is no much design here on this cake. Okay, there is no much design. This is me here piping the happy birthday. So after you are done piping, and if you are still learning how to pipe, so you can just get a template like the computer center, they can print for you. So you just place it on it. But anything you print that you want to place on butter icing, just make sure there is a fondant at the back of that template. That's the paper that you print. So here is me. This is for beginners also, and for those who don't know how to couple their cake box. So I will just illustrating it here, and if you have a stapler, you can use a stapler, but here I'm using sellotape. So once you use sellotape, it holds the box together where you bring the outside to inside, so it holds it firm together, and it will not just be wobbling while carrying the cake. You, after putting your cake to, you're still going to repeat that process. Okay, so that's the illustration there. You do it. If you have a stapler, fine. If you don't have, you use a sellotape. Then before you place the cover on it, just make sure you always clean the box, the cover or inside the box. Yes. So after that, again, you're still going to use another sellotape. I'll see if you are putting the sellotape from the cover side down. Yes. So just watch the illustration. So once you package your cake box like this, you don't have any issue that's why going your cake, the cover will just fly away. So now this is the cake. Now this is the second cake I was trying to talk about. After I just pipe through, I start with the top. So I start with the top first. I use my scraper for the top first until it's smooth. Then I went down to do the body. This does not have so much detail because all the detail is already in the other design that we did, the cream and royal blue. I was just trying to show you the top here too. So when you want to do that edge, it's just out to inside. So this is the final look. Thank you. Bye guys.